everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I'm here to tell you about my May TBR. So, historically, I have not been a TBR person just because having a list of books that I have to read makes me feel a little bit like stressed out and constricted. But I've been doing them the past couple months, and I've actually really enjoyed having like some structure and some list of books that kind of keeps me on track because you'll see I've got a lot of different like categories and things that I'm trying to do. So, let's just get into it. So, first, I'm going to talk about the buddy reads that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be doing 4 this month. And I love buddy reads, so I'm so excited about all of these. So the first one is with Nicole from the Girly Girl Bookworm. We are going to be reading The Girl Before by J.P. Delaney. I have not read anything by J.P. Delaney, and I've heard a lot of really good things about his writing. But I just this morning heard this one be compared to, it says, it's like Gone Girl meets 50 Shades of Grey. And that makes me really, really nervous because I don't want a whole lot of smut in this, but this is a thriller. I don't know a whole lot about it, and I'm really excited. I really want to read Playing Nice by J.P. Delaney, but I have this on my shelves, and so does Nicole, so we are going to buddy read this one. Next is with Tara from Buzzword Books, and we are going to be reading Between Shades of Grey by Rudis Petty. So I hauled this just recently, and I have put it on a couple TBRs, I think. But regardless, I've been so interested in this one, so it is time. This is about a young girl. She is in Lithuania in 1941, and then her family gets arrested and taken to Serbia. And so it's that journey, World War II, I'm sorry, did I just say, I don't know, I might have just said World War I, but World War II. And Lithuania is somewhere that I have never read about in World War II or really any time, so I'm really excited to see kind of that perspective. I've also never read a Rudis Petty's. This has short chapters, and I've heard it's just great, so I am so excited to read this one. Then Anita Baker is one of my lovely subscribers. I love her so much. And so her and I are going to be reading We Were the Lucky Ones by Georgia Hunter. This one I know I have put on a couple different TBRs and have not read it yet. And so it's finally happening in May. This is about a family right at the start of World War II. So a couple World War II books here, but this is 1939, 3 generations of in a family. And I, again, have heard nothing but good things. So these two, I'm going to try to space them out a little bit because you guys know that historical fiction is not my total jam, but I do really I like it as long as it's not like Regency era and stuff. Like World War II, I know a lot about. I am one of the people who don't think it's overdone just because I love it so much. So bring it on. The last one is with Morgan from Nothing Better Than a Book and Bree from Falling for Romance. So this is going to be Jock Row by Sarah Nye. I am really nervous about this one. Really nervous because I've heard very polarizing things. So this is about a girl who is kind of a goody two-shoes, and she's called a jock block, I think. And so she gets kicked out of Jock Row, which is basically like all these party houses where all the jocks live. And so she gets kicked out. And so then this guy is in charge of making sure she stays off Jock Row. And of course, it's going to be their romance. I'm imagining it's going to be kind of new adulty and smutty. He plays baseball. I like baseball, so maybe that'll help redeem it. We'll just see. I'm going in with very low expectations. So then the next book I'm going to talk about is the Book Sisters Book Club. So that is with Sarah from The Bookish Knitter and Bree from Falling for Romance on Instagram. Our May pick is Daughters of the Bride by Susan Mallory. So this one is 3 daughters, Courtney the Misfit, Sienna the Free Spirit, and Rachel the Cynic. And they are all coming together for their mother's wedding. So it sounds like a little bit atypical of a wedding story. Wedding stories in the spring just scream perfect. And so I'm really excited to read this, both for the book club and just in general. This has been on my shelf for a while, so I'm really excited about this one. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is my NetGalley book. So I've gotten a little out of control with NetGalley. So I've got 2 that I'm hoping to read before May even starts. I'm filming this on April 25th, and these both come out May 4th. And so I'm hoping to read them before May starts. But if I don't, they'll be some of the first. So the first one is The Newcomer by Mary Kay Andrews. So Mary Kay Andrews is one of these authors that I really like. I say I really like her. I continually pick up her books. She does women's fiction / mystery / romance. Like her, it's really hard to put her in a box because most of them are kind of women's fiction stories with a mysterious element. So like this one is about this woman who discovers her sister dead, and her sister says, like, if anything ever happens to me, it was my boyfriend. It was definitely him. He did it. look to him. So she says, if something happens to me, take my daughter and run. So she does. She takes her daughter, and which is her niece, and they go to Florida. And they go to this like motel. It's like a surf motel full of empty nesters and like older people. Very stereotypical Florida is what I'm getting. And they all think she's kind of an oddball newcomer. So it's going to be her kind of figuring out life, I'm guessing, with her niece and all these probably quirky characters. I don't really know. We'll see. Next is It Had to Be You by Georgia Clark, and this one also comes out May 4th. This one is another wedding one. So this is about this woman who owns this wedding planning business. She owns it with a partner, and then her partner dies and I think leaves it to his sister. So, and they don't get along maybe, and there's some romance between them. There's also like all the different couples that they are setting up romance or weddings for. So I've heard this compared to like kind of those collaboration movies like He's Just Not That Into You or Valentine's Day or those kind of things where there's a lot of different like stories going on. So hopefully that is really good. It's got really good like preliminary ratings, so fingers crossed on that one. Then Rosaline Palmer Takes the Cake by Alexis Hall. This one comes out May 18th. This one is about a single mom who goes on this baking show, and I think there's like one kind of hotshot guy that's like trying to win her affection and kind of woo her, maybe to steer her away from competition. But there's another like more subtle guy that is really like actually distracting her from the competition. But I love like baking competition shows. It's a single mom doing what she has to do for her kid or kids, and I'm here for it. So that one comes out May 18th. I don't know if I said that. Next is The Summer Cottage by Annie Raines. This one comes out May 25th, and this is just a romance about a girl who goes to a summer cottage. It is the first in a new series for her, and I like Annie Raines. I'm really excited to try it, and just a summer cottage sounds so nice, like a lake house or something like that. Just sounds so great. You hear the word cottage, and I just feel like quaint and relaxed, and I don't know if that's what it is, but I think so. So small town, fun time. Next is The Invisible Husband of Frick Island by Colleen Oakley, and this one comes out May 25th, and I have also put this on a couple TBRs because I am so excited for this one. So this one is about this woman whose husband dies, and I think she just kind of goes into denial and acts as if nothing has changed and he's still there, and the whole town, for some reason, goes along with it. So this guy's dead. He's the invisible husband. He's not actually there, and yet everybody pretends he is. So I don't know, like I'm just so excited. This guy, I think, comes onto the island to do a story about something else, like this reporter, and then he's like, wait, what is going on? And so I think he kind of shifts gears and does a story about that, and I think it sounds so fascinating. Last one is The Photographer by Mary Dixie Carter, and this one comes out May 25th, and this one is about a woman who is a photographer for like New York's elite, and she does like a lot of kids parties and that kind of stuff, and she gets involved in one family, and she says something like, there's a quote or a blurb somewhere on it that says something to the effect of that she learns that photos aren't the only thing she can manipulate. So sounds sinister, sounds wonderful. I can't wait. So then the next like area that I'm going to talk about is my challenges. So I'm doing 2 challenges every month, the Unread Shelf Project and the Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. And so the prompt for the Unread Shelf Challenge is a book you bought as a new release. So I have a lot of choices for this. I've got these 4 by Brittany C. Cherry. So I have Art and Soul, The Space in Between, The Fire Between High and Low, and The Air He Breathes. So all of these books I have bought new because I love Brittany C. Cherry. I want to support her in every way possible. For the most part, she is an indie pub author. She does do some with Montlake with Amazon. So I have bought all of those, and those are the 4 that I have left in her backlist that I have not read. So I'm not probably going to read all 4, but I'm going to read one of those. And so I don't know. We'll see. Then for the Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, it's a book you should have read before you graduated high school. So maybe people think of classics when they think of this. Not me. I am not going to do that. What I'm going to do instead is read the Angels Trilogy by Lurleen McDaniel. So I discovered Lurleen McDaniel as an adult. I had never read her as a young person, but she writes very hard-hitting, emotional, almost like after school dramas for like kind of a YA audience. And they're so good. Like they're so good and so emotional and so quick generally. This is a trilogy all in one, and it's, I don't know how many pages, but 550 or so. So I don't know if I'll read all three or just one or whatever. But the reason I'm saying I should have read this before I graduated high school is because in high school I was way too cool for reading. I was just like way more invested in sports and social things, and I really didn't read in high school very much. And I feel like something like this that is short and emotional and hard hitting would have really gotten me back into reading as a high schooler. But I didn't do it. So this one is about, I think this girl, she is in the hospital for some reason, and her mom is on her honeymoon to husband number 5. And while she's in the hospital, she meets this Amish girl who is like maybe her roommate or something. And she falls in with this Amish family and learns a lot about miracles and angels and all of that kind of stuff. So I definitely think this would have been a good thing for me to pick up in high school just to get me into reading and maybe to strengthen my faith. I don't know if this is Christian based or not, but we will see. So the next kind of grouping of things is Scribd. So Scribd is a monthly audiobook and ebook service. It's like $8.99 a month, and you get to listen to unlimited things. However, we all know if you have used Scribd, it is not actually unlimited. You get cut off at some point. However, I am paying that $8.99 every month, and I'm wanting to make sure that I am using it promptly. And normally I can get at least 2. So I've got 2 books here picked that I'm going to listen to on Scribd. And then if it cuts me off after that, that's fine. I still feel like if I only get 2, that's fine. Like for $8.99 to listen to 2 audiobooks, I feel like that's okay. So the 2 that I'm for sure planning on reading are Pretty Little Wife by Darby Kane. I've heard really mixed things about this. This one is a thriller. It says there's more than one way to end a marriage. Her husband is missing, and I think he is dead. I don't know for sure. I mean, obviously, if he's missing, we don't know for sure. And a bunch of students have gone missing. I think her husband's a teacher, and so like everyone is trying to look for him except for her. So why isn't she looking? I don't know. The next one is The Perfect Match by Jodi Picoult. This one is one that I think is really interesting. So this is about a woman who's a district attorney, and she prosecutes like child molesters and abusers and things like that for a living. And then something happens to her son, and her son is a victim. And so then it comes into what will a mother do for justice? And Jodi Picoult writes such great things. They're always so well researched. And like this one, she's a district attorney, so I feel like this could be kind of legal heavy, but Jodi does that in a way that I don't mind. And so I'm really excited to listen to this. The last 4 are all books that you have seen before. And they are books that were a part of my try a chapter tag for reading the lowest rated books on my shelf. So I'm currently reading one. I'm hoping I'll finish it before May. I don't know. You guys, physical reading has been slow going. So I don't know if I'll finish it before May, but I'm not going to talk about that one. I'm going to talk about the other 4. So the first one is Waiting to Surface by Emily Lustfield. This one is about a woman who her husband goes missing. I don't think it's like as sinister as Pretty Little Wife. I think her husband's just missing. Like, did he run away? Did something happen? I don't know. This one in the trial chapter, it is very, very, very descriptive. Like, you meet everybody in her office. You know their backstory. You know their mother's backstory. You know their brother's backstory. I'm exaggerating, but I don't know if I'll get through this one. This one is the one that I didn't even finish the whole first chapter, so I probably should unhaul it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to try it. So if you guys haven't seen that video, I will link it up above or down below or both. The next one is Her by Harriet Lane. This one is You Don't Remember Her, but She Remembers You. So it's 2 women. Their stories are connected. We don't know how. It was a little confusing at first, but I'm hoping I'll like this. And it's pretty short. It's less than 300 pages, so should be able to get through this. Then we've got December by Elizabeth Winthrop, and this one is a story about a rural family. I couldn't figure out timeline from the beginning, and I don't think it says on here. It's December in New England, so maybe spring isn't the best time to read this, but I don't care. And their daughter is mute, and I don't think we know why, and so it's just kind of interesting. I did like the beginning of this one. And then the last one is Smart versus Pretty by Valerie Frankel. So this one is about two sisters. One's supposedly the smart one is the pretty one, and they have a coffee shop that is failing. I think they inherited it and now it's failing. And so this woman comes in and is like, hey, I can help you. Let's do this. So we'll see. It's blurbed by Candace Bushnell, who is the author of Sex and the City, and it says charming and highly entertaining. Must read for anyone who has a sister. So I have a sister. I like Candace Bushnell. I like Sex and the City. I think this will be chick lit to the extreme. So that is my May TBR. I don't know. I think I'll read all of these with the exception of like all those Brittany C. Cherries. I don't know if I'll read all of them, but I really think this will help me focus a little bit. And so I think it's a good thing. I'm really, really excited. So if you have read any of these books, let me know. What is on your May TBR? Are there any I should prioritize? And that is it. We'll talk to you in the next one. Thank you for watching.